Okay guys, so what I want to explain when I play guard, what I focus on is my opponent's grips. Stand up. So when I'm in guard, I always focus on where he's grabbing. And based on where he's grabbing is how I react. So I'm on my butt, I'm here. Ben is gonna make grips, one in and one out. So when Ben makes grips, whenever his grip is inside my leg, I go over his arm. Because now he lost the power of passing my guard because his grip is inside, I go outside. When his grip's on the outside, I go inside. Because I can't go outside here. His elbow's open, he's closing his knee. I can only go inside. So every time my opponent makes grips on me, here I go in. Outside, I go here. So a drill I like to do when I'm playing guard is, Ben makes grips and I adjust each time. Circle in. Now switch. In, out. So when I'm here, he makes the grip. I always go in immediately to adjust his hand. I go outside to adjust the inside grip. And vice versa. So just keep switching and we're just going to draw. Boom. So he goes here. Boom. He goes here. And notice every time he makes these grips, I'm lifting up my hips to keep pressure on his arms. If I don't lift up my hips, he can start stacking me here. So I put pressure on my hips and I bury my legs to make them heavy. So he switches his hands. I go in, I go out. So now it's a stroke. Okay guys, so now I'm going to show the basic Toriano defense that I like to do. So Ben is going to come here and he's going to get both grips inside my knee. He's going to push my legs to the mat and he's going to pass my guard. This is like the standard basic Toriano pass that people like to do. And how I'm going to address this position now, Ben's going to make the grips on the inside. Like I discussed before, every time my opponent makes grips on the inside of my legs, all I'm going to do is go over the grips here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my feet on the outside of his shoulders. Now, if I was to put one of my feet in, Ben could get over my leg now. Like step over my leg here, and now he can start going knee cut, or he could go on the other side. I have no frame on his shoulder. So when I'm here, I like to keep both of my feet on his shoulders so he can't get over my legs. Now, another detail I like to do here is every time I'm here, I like to grab the collar and the sleeve, and I like to back my body up. Because when I back my body up, he's leaning more. And the more Ben is leaning, the more weight he has on his upper body. The more I can attack his upper body. Here. Here. All my attacks happen when Ben is leaning on his upper body. Then I can attack his arm, I can attack his neck, I can attack everything. So, he's here. Throw my legs over. I go for the sleeve, I go to the collar. I move my body back. So now Ben is leaning so much, his arm is compromised, all his weight's on his upper body. So the second I break his grip, he's collapsing, you know? So for me, I have to make him lean to set up my attack. So I'm here, Ben makes grips on my legs, I pummel over, I grab the sleeve, I grab the collar. Again, notice, every time he makes this inside grip, I don't go here, I go over his arms. Now I shut off his attacks from here. Keeping my feet on his shoulders and never going inside. If I go inside, I lose my power to keep distance on his body. I like to have as many frames on his body as possible. So both feet on the shoulders, I grab the sleeve, I grab the collar. Now I can break the grip, and I have the omoplata, I have the triangle, I have everything. Now let's say I couldn't move his legs back, so I pummel my legs, he brings his legs forward. I couldn't go for the omoplata because his legs are forward now, so what am I going to do? I have De La Hiva, I have so many options on the legs here. But if I want to attack the upper body, I need him to be leaning here to attack the upper body. So when his legs are forward, bring your legs forward, I start attacking the legs. Okay? So Ben is here. He goes for the basic Toriano pass. Pull my legs over. I grab the sleeve. I grab the collar. I move my body back. I go omoplata. Ben feels I'm going to move his upper body. He brings his legs forward. No problem. Now I'm in Dalahiva. And now I'm able to control my opponent. Now let's do some real time. Bring your legs forward. Okay guys, so now what I'm going to explain is we're going to go over another variation to the Toriando, and we're going to explain where his power is in this pass. So Ben is going to be standing. He's going to go one grip in, one grip out. And the problem with this pass, besides before, when he has an inside grip here and he passes to the side, I'm able to bend his elbow to his hips to start passing. I'm able to frame on his elbow, so when he tries to pass, he can't come forward. His body is blocked because his elbow's on his hip. I'm able to frame. So just kind of pass and keep going forward. He can't because of the frame on my arm. The problem is when he gets an outside grip on my knee. The difference between this grip now is I can't monitor his elbow to his shoulder. For this pass, when he's here and he puts pressure, I'm able to frame on his elbow, blocking his shoulder. When he has the outside grip, what happens is I can frame on his elbow, but he has his shoulder to pass with. So I can't control his shoulder if I frame on his arm. So this grip is way more troublesome because I cannot frame on his arm to block this grip. So whenever he does a Toriano and he has an outside grip, his power is all in this grip. So immediately, I have to address where his power is. I have to kill the power. And his power is all in this grip. So immediately I address this grip by going here. Like before I explained, I always pummel my foot inside when they make this grip. So inside, and now I throw my leg over the inside grip, like before, like before. Now I'm safe, but now when I get to this position, I'm gonna move my body toward my inside foot. The reason being is if I move my body toward this foot, I have no control of his elbow or shoulder. He can throw my legs by. So he's here. If I go this way, I can't frame on him. He's able to open his elbow, he's able to open his shoulder, and he's able to pass my guard. So I definitely cannot go this way. So the only way I can go is toward this shoulder. And now notice, look where his elbow is when I go toward this shoulder. It's exactly like go the inside grip. It's exactly like before I said how his shoulder is framed and he can't pass like this, like start passing. He can't pass because the inside grip. So now he has the outside grip and I get my foot in. Look, it's the same positioning of his shoulder and elbow. He cannot pass now. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to bend my knee, my foot facing toward his knee. I'm going to turn my body toward my leg. So now he cannot throw my leg. Go throw my leg. He cannot throw my leg. I'm monitoring his knee. He tries to throw my leg. He can't because his shoulder is compromised. He can't use this shoulder and elbow. It's closed. So all I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm here. I'm going to make a cross grip and a sleeve grip, just like before. I break the grip, and now I have my omoplata. I have my triangle. I have, if he brings his legs forward, I have Delahiva. I have so many options. I could even go close guard. I have all my options here. So I always have to address where his power is, and when he does this pass, the Toriano grips one on the outside, all his power is in this outside grip. So I pummel, I throw my leg over, I go toward this grip. I face my knee toward my knee, I face my foot down, and to the side. I go toward this grip, I grab the cross collar, I grab the pants, I break the grip. Now I have the omoplata, I have the de la riva, I have the triangle, I have the closed guard, I have all my attacks here. So let's go. He makes the grip, I put my foot in, I immediately adjust. If I go here first, he can, no, go back. If I go here first, he can still throw my leg and just let go of this grip. He can still throw by my legs because I'm not adjusting where the power is. All his power is in this grip, so I have to adjust that immediately. If I adjust this is not where his power is. All his power is in this leg. He can let go of this and just throw my leg. Because this is where all his power is in this pass. So I go boom. Now I blocked his power. So now he wants to throw my leg. Now I can start adjusting this. Because I adjust where his power is in this pass. So he's here. I adjust it immediately. I circle. I move my body. I grab the collar. And I get my attack position. Now let's show real time. Okay guys, now I'm going to show another variation that I like to use to defend the Toriano pass when I'm fighting a lot of, like when I'm training with bigger people than me. My opponent Ben is going to get his Toriano grips. It could be one in, one out. He starts passing. I adjust the grip. Now all I'm going to do is with my other leg, I'm going to put my other foot on his shoulder. So now I have 2 feet on this arm. Now when I'm here, all I'm going to do is I'm going to frame on his knee and it's going to make his body lean forward. This frame keeps his legs from coming into me. If I don't frame here, he can walk his legs up. So I like to make a frame on his knee here. And when I do this, it puts his weight more on his butt. So now what I'm going to do here is, I'm going to take this hand, I'm going to grab a sleeve grip on his far leg, and I'm going to take this hand, and I'm going to cup his leg. Now all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my leg, I'm going to hook under his leg, and I'm going to hook here, and I'm going to get into the Kiss of the Dragon position here. So let's go again. He makes his grips, I connect. I push his knee away, and I move my butt away, not my head. I need my head in, but I'm moving my butt away. I'm going to grab a bottom grip on his pants, I'm going to cup his knee, I'm going to bring my leg in, I'm going to hook my foot on his hip, and I'm going to get into the Kiss of the Dragon position here. Controlling the leg, controlling my foot here, and now I'm in my position. Again. So Ben makes his grips. I frame initially, always immediately adjusting his power. He runs. I put my foot on his shoulder. Ben tries to posture. He's trying to throw my legs away. So now he's giving me his legs because his legs are right here. So now I cup his leg. I have my grip on this bottom leg to keep me at bay. I control. I go under. I get to the reverse de la riva position. Notice guys, when I'm here and he makes his grips and starts running to the side, and he starts passing. When I get this grip, I use it to pull my body up. This bottom leg grip is what's giving me the leverage to get under my body because I'm pulling. I pull the grip and I use my feet on his arms to elevate my hips. So I'm using this grip to pull, to post my elbow on the floor. My elbow, move this way so they can see my elbow. My elbow is on the mat here, helping me pull my body. Using my feet, lifting up my hips. Now I can cup the leg and I have so much space to get under now to get to the Kiss of the Dragon position. And when I get to the Kiss of the Dragon position, I underhook the leg, I grab the sleeve, and I stop here. So again, he makes his grips, foot in, foot out, he runs, I push his knee away, I make my grip, I post on my elbow, and I use my feet. Going on my shoulder. Notice, guys, how I go on my shoulder to help me move my body. So I go on my shoulder, I cup the leg, I bring my leg in, and I go to the kiss of the dragon position here. Let's feel this position. Okay guys, so now I'm going to show my first variation I like to do when I do the Kiss of the Dragon off of this pass. Again guys, I wanted to say I like this position because my opponent is attacking me. So I'm countering his attack. I feel that when my opponent's attacking me is when he's open. He's not tense, he's open. When he's defending, he's tense. So it's hard to open the person up. When they're attacking, they're open. So I can get things going. It's way easier to get things going when someone's opening up opposed to being closed. So Ben's here, he's opening up, going for his pass on me, and I'm countering this pass by attacking my own attack, putting him on the defense. But because he was attacking, I'm able to get to my opportunity. So I get this grip, I bridge my body, I get the leg, I get to the Kiss of the Dragon position here. Right where we were before. When I get to the Kiss of the Dragon, I underhook this leg for more control, and I control the leg grip here. Now that I'm controlling the leg grip here, guys, I'm gonna take this arm, I'm gonna make a butt grip on the middle of his pants. And what I'm gonna do also is, with this foot, I'm gonna push his armpit to connect my foot to his far armpit. I'm gonna put my hook on the other side of his body now. I'm going to stretch. I'm gonna grab the back of his body, and now I'm gonna take this back. I lock the seatbelt, connect my head to his head, fall to the side, and put in my hook. So I take advantage of him being open, getting to my attack. Here, he gets his Toriyama grips. I make my grips, I go here. I frame his knee, I grab the pants, I go under his knee, I go around to get to the Kiss of the Dragon position. Immediately, I underhook his leg here, I make a grip on the pants, I use my foot to push his armpit to connect my other foot to his armpit. I like to even make a grip here. I just make distance, keeping his body away from me. I grab the butt grip, I hook his far leg now to control both legs. Now that I'm here, I'm ready to attack the back. So how am I gonna attack the back? I let go of my underhook here, I control the back of his body. So now I have two pressures here to pull him on top of my chest, to stretch his body, to take the back. Immediately when I get here, I underhook his arm, I go over, I lock the seatbelt. Always when you do the seatbelt, you put your fist on his chest, and the hand that's underhooking his arm is over on the top. The reason being is, if I put my other hand on top and he grabs my hand, I have no choke. So my hand that's underhooking is on top, he goes to pull it down, now I have the choke. So always the hand underhooking is on top. So he goes to pull down my grip, I have the choke here. So I'm in my initial position, he goes to Rihanna, foot, I frame, I grab the pants, I grab the knee, I go under. I get to my initial position here. Notice guys how I'm using my hook to keep control of him. And now all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push my foot on his armpit to switch my feet, to keep framed on this arm. Now my grip is gonna pull, I'm gonna push, and I'm gonna switch my foot to the far leg. So now I'm controlling both legs here. Now I let go of my underhook. Once I square up my body, I feed my hand to the middle of his back. I pull down, my hook is already in here guys. So I beat down, I pull, and I stretch. I get to this position here. Now, I don't like to initially put my hook in. The reason being is he's waiting for me to put my hook in. So I take advantage of him focusing on my hook to attack the choke. So I'll go seatbelt, and now he starts focusing on my hook, like with his hand, I get the choke. So when I'm here and he focuses on my hands, so now focus on defending my hand, when I start going choke, I put my hook in. Now I can feed my hand to go to the rear naked choke, to the gi, whatever you guys like to do. But I just want you guys to pay attention that when you take the back, they're always gonna think about, especially in competition, the points. They don't wanna give up the points. So when they do that, that's the opportunity to go for the choke. And then when you make them focus on the choke, you get the hooks in, you get the points. So you have to balance both. And I think a good rule of thumb is to make them think about the choke to get the hooks in. So we're here. Ben is opening up. He's giving me a window of opportunity because he opened up. I frame, I connect, I get to the kiss of the dragon. He falls down here. When I get here, he's gonna be pushing, he's gonna be grabbing something with this arm. So I use my foot to push to get my other foot on his armpit. I grab the butt grip, I move my body back so he's leaning more on his legs. I switch my hook to the far leg from the inside leg because for me to take the back, I need to control this back leg. He could sit down if I'm not controlling the back leg. Sit down, so come back up. But I control the back leg. Now it's harder for him to sit down because I'm controlling the back leg. Now I control the back of his body. I pull down, putting his body to my stomach. I beat down my hook because I already have my hook in. This is my first hook right here. It's already in. Now I can go control the back. I pull, I stretch my leg, and I get to this position here. Immediately when I get here, I go to the seatbelt. I feel if he's focusing on my hooks or if he's focusing on the choke. He's focusing on the hook. I start feeding my collar grip to get to the choke, or I feed the rear naked grip. If I feel like I'm going here, he starts addressing my hand. I put my hook in. Now he focuses on this hand, we feed the grip here, and now we have the choke. And I get here, I underhook, I get here. Now when I'm here, I use my feet to get my foot here. I move my body back, hooking the bottom leg. This is very important that I hook the bottom leg. Now I let go of my grip here to grab the back of his body, pull him down, putting my hook in his hip. The second I get my foot in his hip is when he's stuck. Because now his hips are controlled. I control this hip and this hip. So now he's in trouble because I control both of his hips. And I'm controlling the back of his body so he can't move away. I get here, I start going seatbelt. I feel like he's blocking the hook, I feed the choke grip. If I'm starting to feed the choke grip, he defends, I put my hook in, stretch, go for the choke again. One more time, real speed. Okay guys, now I'm going to show you the second variation I like to do to take the back from the Kiss of the Dragon position that we're working. So my partner Ben, he's going to get his Toriano grips, he's going to start passing, I frame, I get my foot on the shoulder, I frame on his knee, move my butt out a little bit, I get the grip on his leg, I go on my shoulder, I go on the knee, I throw my leg in, I get to the initial position here. Now this time, I feel like I need a little more control of him, so I underhook the leg, I get here. I start controlling the butt grip here. Now all I'm going to do guys is I'm going to push his armpit. I feel like I can't connect my foot to his armpit here. I just feel like I can't bend his knee. His knee is up a little too much. I feel like I can't bend his knee. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pummel my foot instead of going here, he's opening his knee open. So I'm gonna take advantage of that and put my hook under his knee here. I'm gonna switch my hook again like before. I'm gonna control both hands on the butt grip here. I'm gonna pull his butt to my chest, and now I'm gonna stay here and I'm gonna stretch his body. When I get here, guys, I'm gonna underhook his arm, I'm gonna overhook, and I'm gonna put my first hook in, and I'm gonna take the back. And like I explained before, when I take the back, I always focus on if he's blocking the hooks or if he's blocking the neck. If he blocks the neck, I put my hook in. If he's blocking the hook, I feed the choke grip on the neck, or the rear naked choke grip. So I balance out both, always. If I feel he's blocking one, I do the other to make his brain focus on two things at once. So we're here, Ben gets the Tori on the grip. I put my foot in, I push the shoulder. I go on my elbow, I invert, I get to the kiss of the dragon here. I underhook the leg, I get my sleeve grip. I start getting the butt grip, and like I did before, I start pushing the armpit to connect my foot to his armpit here. But this time, Ben opens his knee, so I can't put my foot on his armpit. So because I can't put my foot on his armpit, I have an opportunity now because his weight's opening on his knee, and that gives me a hook to put on his knee. So now I hook the back leg just like before, because if I don't hook the back leg, he can fall on his hip to the side. So I need to adjust that back hip, that back leg right here, and how I do that is I hook the back leg. So now I have control of both hips. I'm able to let go of this, and I'm able to go both hands on the butt grip to control his hip a little better. Now I bring his butt to my stomach. And when I bring his butt to my stomach, I pull, I move my body back a little bit, and I stretch to put his butt on the mat. Now immediately I underhook his body, I overhook, I put my hook in, and now I feel what he's gonna do. He starts adjusting my hands, I go for the choke. If he starts adjusting my hook, I go for the choke. I always make him feel like I'm gonna choke him. And then when he focuses on the hook, I choke. And if he focuses on my hands, I just put the hook in. So he focuses on my hands. I put the hook in. Now he's focused on the hook. Now he's like, oh, I got my hook in. Choke. So I balance out both back and forth. So again, so we're here. He goes to Oriano, he goes to pass. I put my feet, I frame. I get the leg grip, I invert, I get the leg, I get to the kiss of the dragon position. I underhook the leg, I push his armpit to get my foot on his armpit here. When I'm able to get my foot on the armpit, what am I doing, guys? I'm closing his knee to the mat here. The reason why I can't do this now is he opens his knee. So I can't go there this time. So what I have to do is, I have to put my hook in so I can help, it helps me open his knee more. So if I'm able to close his knee, I put my foot on his armpit. If he opens his knee defending, I go here. I put my foot in his knee to open his knee more, which gives me more leverage to take his back now. I put both hands on the butt grip, I hook the bottom leg, so now I have both hips. Now I'm in business, like to take the back, because I have both hips, I have control of the butt grips, I can pull his butt to my stomach, now I'm here, I can stretch, putting his butt on the mat here. I immediately go to the underhook, get to the seatbelt. My first hook comes in, I connect my head as close as I can to his head to control his body more. He pushes my hook down, I go for the choke. He starts focusing on my hands, I put my hook in, and now I can go for the choke again. Good. Get here, I'm here. Notice, guys, how I use this hook. Move this way, Ben. I use my knee here to keep his hip up. If I didn't use my knee, he can sit down. So go back. My knee being here helps me keep his body up. This inside hook and knee. I'm using it on his body to keep his body up. So I'm here, I use my knee. I get the butt grip. I push his shoulder to bend his knee in. He opens his knee. I use my hook, I switch my leg to the bottom. Now I have control of both hips, I'm in business. I can grab the butt grips, I pull him to me, I move my body back a little bit, just so his weight is completely on my hips. Now I stretch his body, I underhook, I take the back, I put my hooks in and monitor if he's going for the choke, if he's blocking my hands or the hook. Okay. opens his knee. I'm trying to close his knee. If I could close his knee, I could take this back immediately. He opens. I use my hook now, right where his knee is. Go there, butt grip, move back. Nice. Okay guys, now I'm going to show you another variation I like to do from the Kiss of the Dragon position. We're going to go into it the same way as before. Ben has the Toriano grips. I frame, I push the knee, I control the bottom leg, I hook his knee, I get my leg in, we get to the Kiss of the Dragon position. I'm using my knee to keep his body up, I'm using this grip to keep his hip up, so I have good control of his body. I try to push his arm to get my foot on his armpit to close his hip. To close his hip here. Ben feels I'm closing his hip, he opens his knee. So when he opens his knee, all I do is scoot back a little bit. I'm going to palm my hook in. I'm going to take my hook to the other side. Now I'm going to go to do the initial position I did before. The baby bowl position where I stretch and put his butt to the floor. But this time when I bring my butt to his chest, he's going to put his weight on top of me. So instead of going against him, I'm going to go with him. I'm going to let him fall back this way. I'm going to stretch his leg. I'm going to keep this grip, guys. And what's most important here is, you see my hand here? I'm going to turn my knuckle facing down. So now I have my fist punching his body, and I'm using my shoulder to punch his body, and I'm using my back hook to put his foot, this foot, on the mat. So think of it like this. If I was standing and passing him here, I'm putting his feet to the mat here. So when I'm doing this position here, I'm putting his foot like a stack to the mat. I'm using my knuckle on his hip, I'm punching, and now his foot is on the mat. When his foot hits the mat, with this hand, I'm gonna grab the back of his body here as high up as I can to control his upper body. Because I'm dominating his hips now. So now all I have to do is climb up. I pull my body, and I put my hook in here. Now when I put my hook in here, guys, what I like to do is I like to feed my hand now to the neck. Right to his neck here. I'm going to pull up, I'm going to stomp on the mat. I'm going to take the back. Okay. So again, basically what I explained before, I never like to go against my opponent, I like to always go with him. And every reaction he gives me, I answer it in a different way. So this scenario here, he goes to Rondo, he starts passing, I go to take the back. I get to the Kiss of the Dragon. I lift up his leg, I use my knee to control him. I get the butt grip, I move my body back a little bit, I try to close his knee. He opens his knee, I put my hook in. I get the baby bowl position here, where I could pull him and stretch him. Ben feels I'm starting to pull him to stretch him. He leans backward. So here, I focus on getting my hand in. He falls. I turn my knuckle in. I punch his hip. I put his foot on the mat here. Now that his foot's on the mat, he's stacked. Now I have a lot of control of him. I can grab as deep as I can. I can underhook his collar. It really doesn't matter at this point. The only thing that matters is I climb up with my hand. I pull myself up. I put my hook in to grab the neck, to step on the mat, to scoop him, to take him to this side. Now, if I feel like I'm going here, and I feel like he's putting his weight on the mat too much, I'm going to underhook his body, I'm going to connect my head, I'm going to go seatbelt here. Now, all I'm going to do at this point, guys, I'm going to put my foot on the floor of the mat, like a mount position. I'm going to put weight forward, and if he keeps rolling forward, I take the back here. If he stays down, when I go here, he's going to fight against me putting his back to the mat. I pull him this way. So I'm here. I like to scoop my elbow to my knee here. So now I have weight to push forward, and now he comes back to get here. Now I step on the hip to pull my body up. So I have control to have room for the back. If he's too high, I can't really fight his neck here because his weight's on top of me. I want his weight on my hips, so my upper body's free and I have strength in my arms. When he's too high, I can't really fight his upper body. So let's go back. Here, he goes Toriano. I frame and push, I connect, I go under here. I underhook, I get this. I start closing his knee, he defends opening. I get to the baby bola position. I put my other hand inside the butt grip here. I pull him to go baby bola, he rolls backward. So now, now all I do is I stretch my leg and I push his hip up to get his far foot to the mat. I make a hook on his knee to put his leg on the mat. Now that I'm here, I use my other hand, I push his hip up more. Now he's stacked on his shoulder. And because he's stacked on his shoulder, his hips are weak now. His only strength now is in his upper body. So now I have to climb up my body. I grab as high as I can, I pull myself up, I put my hook in, I grab the neck, I step on the mat. I take the back here. If I feel like I'm going here, I'm trying to step on the mat, he's too heavy. I underhook and grab the far collar. I move my neck up to his head. I connect the seatbelt. I go to the quarter mount here. I put weight forward. I connect my knee. I lean. If he goes forward, I take the back here. If when I go forward, he's gonna resist. Now I pull him this way. Step on the mat and move his body down. Now I take the back here, and I can start feeding the choke here. So we're here. That has the grips. We're here. I go here. I go to take the back here. I put the hook in. I try closing his knee. He opens his knee. So I put my hook in. I go both hands on the butt. I pull him back. He rolls backward. I stack him, putting his foot on the mat. I push his hip up with my other hand. But notice I'm not really using this leg. All I'm using this leg to do is help me push his body up. All of this effort is in this back leg to stack him. Now I pull myself up, I put my hook in, and I take the back here. Or if I feel like he's too heavy, I grab the collar under his armpit, I pull myself up, seatbelt, forward, knee, try to take his back this way. Or I go here, he defends, I go this way. Always going with him, never against. So again. He's here, goes. I try closing his knee, he opens his knee. I go here, I try stretching, he puts his weight forward. I lift up, I stretch his foot to the floor. I push his hip up, I push his body up. He uses his foot to help me if I need to. I throw my leg in, I get this grip on the neck. To step on the floor, to take his back, or to feed my hand here. And he makes his back heavy, get the seatbelt, I go to quarter mount. I even have the armbar option here, here. Go again. Again. This angle.